So, ang question ko po ay para doon sa BI. Pwede rin sumagot ang DOLE at saka yung PESA, ating mga worker. Meron po ba tayong, meron po ba silang mga sinubmit na mga working visa or working visa or working permit sa BI po?
Madam Chair, karamihan po nung mga POGO workers, when they arrived here, they were using the regular temporary visitor visa, and then dito po sila nagko-convert ng working visa.
So wala po ba ni isa na pumasok sa ating bansa na talagang mag-work sila dito at meron silang mga visa?
Nung pumasok po sila dito, kung mga restricted national po sila, like Chinese or Indian, bibigyan po, may dala po sila mga entry visa issued ng mga ng DFA, ng mga consulate natin.
So ano po yung visa nila, Mr. Chair?
Ang tawag po doon ay temporary visitor visa.
So pag temporary visa, Mr. Chair, mga ilang buwan lang dapat sila andi dito?
Ang initial po na bibigay sa kanila is 3 months kapag may binigyan sila.
Since pinakamaraming mga illegal POGO at saan din ang pinakamaraming legal?
Una po muna dun sa legal po, na pinakamarami po siguro is sa National Capital Region po, Makati and Pasay po. And then for the illegal po, siguro po within Metro Manila din po.
Wala po bang mga nasa mga provinces and other LGU aside from the NCR? So, hindi. Ang sinasabi natin, yung pinakamarami, can you specify? Kasi very general yung sinasabi mong mga illegal POGOs, ang pinakamarami ay dito rin sa NCR. Pero di ba sa mga pagdinig dito sa Kongreso, may mga nakita tayo, halimbawa dito sa Pampanga, sa Bamban, meron sa Cavite. So, ano po yung difference nung dami nung sinasabi nyo sa Metro Manila or NCR as regards dun sa mga probinsya, Mr. Chair?
Ang pinagbasehan po nung naging statement na yon is kung babasihan po natin yung file po ng PAOK, so 400 plus po na nasa listahan po natin, karamihan po sa nakansela at sa na-issue before and nakansela na po ay nasa National Capital Region. However, meron din po tayong mga mangilan-ngilan na licensees na nagtigil na po or nag-cancel na po ng kanilang mga lisensya, pero nasa ibang lugar po or nasa ibang probinsya po ng Pilipinas. Pero po karamihan pa din po sa mga nakansela na wala na pong lisensya ay nasa National Capital Region po.
Mr. Chair, can we have a list of those POGOs na sinasabi nila na pinakamarami sa NCR na legal at saka yung mga nakansela na?
We will provide po, Congress.
Yes, during our last meeting, meron kayong sinubmit na more than 42 na mga legal POGOs. Tama ba yon? At merong isa na nakansela rin.
Apo.
Okay, so etong mga legal POGOs na to, nabigyan nyo na po ng order.
Yes po.
Na hanggang December 31 lang.
Tama po.
So ilan po yung mga involved na mga Filipino workers?
Ayon po sa huling data po namin is nasa 33,100 Filipino workers po yung kasalukuyan po na ini-empleyo ng mga licensed po natin.
Please wrap up, Congressman Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kasi dito sa mga workers natin sa Pilipinas na mawawala ng trabaho by December 31, meron na pong mga sumusulat sa atin. Ngayon, dapat meron na kayong contingency plan kung paano po mabibigyan halimbawa ng trabaho itong 33,000 in coordination with other government agencies.
Sorry sir, meron na pong
Okay, can you submit those plan? Kasi may mga kababayan tayo talaga na sumusulat na paano na daw sila by December 31.
Okay. Congresswoman, with regard po dun sa mga trabaho na ito, para po sa mga madi-displace, meron po tayo mga kasalukuyang plano and sa ngayon po ay patuloy po yung profiling nung mga 33,000 na yon para po ma-match po natin sila sa mga open jobs and opportunities po na pwede po nilang pasukan after po nitong effectivity po ng ban.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Congresswoman Castro. Next interpellator is Congressman
Mr. Chair.
Lordan Suwan.
Mr. Chair.
Before that, yes, Chair Abante.
In relation lang doon sa question ni Congressman Marcoleta sa PAGCOR, I just would like to ask, yung PAGCOR, yung NBI, yung PIDEA, yung Philippine National Police, kung sila nagkaroon ng command conference, pagkatapos sabihin ng Pangulo na ihinto na ang PAGCOR, ihinto na ang POGO. Yun ang gusto kong itanong.
We will just ask the agencies concerned
Yes,
for the
yes.
reply later, Congressman Abante, after we finish all the listed
Okay.
in the sheet. If that would be all right with you, Chair Abante.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
we proceed with Congressman Lordan Suwan. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I direct my questions to PAGCOR? Ma'am, Republic Act 9160 or the Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2001, as amended, has added casinos, including internet and ship-based casinos, to the coverage of the Act. In line with this, the PAGCOR Anti-Money Laundering Supervision and Enforcement Division was created, or the PASED, to set out and enforce effective anti-money laundering and countering of the financing of terrorism. Now, one of the things that PASED does is to conduct on-site inspections and off-site examinations. May I ask if these inspections or examinations are still being conducted or were ever conducted as regards POGOs?
Mr. Chair, yes, the PASED po conducts on-site inspections po to the internet gaming licensees po.
So if they conducted examinations or inspections on POGO operations, how frequently were they conducted?
Mr. Chair, I'm not really familiar po kung gaano ka-frequent po nila ito ginagawa. But we can submit po reports on the result of the on-site checks conducted by the PASED po.
Yes. Can you also include the manner in which such examinations were conducted, how often, and the time when these inspections were started in our country?
Will do po.
On another note, on pages 35 to 40 of PAGCOR's Citizens Charter Handbook, there is a checklist of requirements which must be complied with by applicants in order for them to be granted an internet gaming license. And one of these requirements is the result of evaluation conducted by an accredited probity checker. An accredited probity checker of the OGLD, or Offshore Gaming Licensing Department of the PAGCOR. Now, according to
according to the Internet Gaming Definitions Regulations of PAGCOR, a probity checker is an entity who is responsible for the verification of the identity of applicants and to include all officials of the corporate applicant, their finances, their integrity, competency, and criminal association.
Hey, I've told you, with your statement right now, you are saying that EO13 is illegal, and this should be the basis for you to stop POGO as soon as possible, even with the legal POGOs that are actually winding up until December. Thank you very much for that clarification. And I would like to say also that the POGOs have hurt Region 2 because of the CESA. CESA is the only one allowed in Congress as a law to create legal numbers games and electronic gaming. And that's why that EO13 was issued. May I now ask you, is the EO13 now been cancelled in Malacanang as per the statement that from now on PBBM says in July 22 that POGOs are banned?
Sir, I don't have sufficient knowledge po kung kanselado na po yung EO13 po by that pronouncement, sir. I cannot answer po.
All right, but motu proprio, Mr. Chair, we can see that since her statement is saying that it is illegal, it is non-existent in itself.
If I may, Mr. Congressman, I think I could not declare something illegal. So it would be in the proper forum or in the proper courts po that could declare the executive order illegal.
Well, nonetheless, you've already explained that it is illegal. Third, fourth, itong majority na criminal activities natin, Mr. Chair, associated to POGOs have been traced to organized criminal syndicates, often involving foreign nationals and Filipino nationals, particularly Chinese. Mr. Chair, may this representation be allowed to ask the Chair himself, all these people from Catherine Casarandoong, Dennis Cunanan, all these individuals linked to POGO operations, mukhang pare-pareho ba lahat sila?
Well, if you wish to solicit the reply of the Chair, Deputy Speaker Albano, yes, they are all connected to POGOs, both in Banban and in Porac, Pampanga. Deputy Speaker Albano, and you have, please wrap up, you have 1 more minute left.
Yes, and this is therefore what I'm saying. Since this is a threat and we already know these people, may we ask this committee to empower itself and ask for a watch list from the Bureau of Immigration, if someone is here from the Bureau of Immigration, to see whether or not these people are here, especially that they did not attend and we are issuing a show cause order, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Your Honor, that's the reason why the committee has invited all these personalities, not just to shed light, but to for the committee to be able to ferret out the truth as far as their involvement in the crimes that was listed under the operations of illegal POGOs, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to wrap up, I repeat, POGO is a national threat to our Philippine economy, and therefore POGO is a national threat to our national security and has to be stopped. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, D.S. Albano. The next to interpolate is our representative from the minority, Congresswoman Arlene Brosas. You are recognized. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, gusto po nating malaman kung nakailang raids na ba ng POGO na isinagawa ang mga authorities, Mr. Chair. Do you have that figure? Siguro, Mr. Chair, ang makakasagot nito ay PAGCOR din ba? Or ano? Meron ba kayong data kung kailan kayo, kung ilan at when did you start taking action on POGOs with alleged illegal activities?
Madam Senator, nagsimula po kami, Madam Congressman, nagsimula po kaming makipag-ugnayan po sa mga authorities po natin ng pagdating po ng bagong administration natin ng September 2022, kung saan una po doon is nung nagkakaroon na po ng mga reports ng kidnapping, illegal detention sa iba't ibang lugar po, nagkaroon po at nagpatawag po agad ang PAGCOR ng isang meeting para po nandoon yung mga law enforcement agencies natin and mga licensees natin para po simulan yung changes dun sa mga at bigyan sila ng warning na hindi po dapat nagkakaroon ng ganitong mga activities. But with regard po sa number of raid operations, sa tingin ko po PAOK can can accurately give po the numbers of operations.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we would like to know from the PNP siguro, kasi sila naman yung nagkaroon ng mga actions nung nakaraan, nakailan na po ba na POGO, no? Mga raids, no? In different parts of the country kung meron na. Tapos ilan, siguro i-connect ko na, no? Yung pinaka-frequent na illegal activity na ginagawa and which basically involves women, mga kababaihan po. Yun po yung gusto naming malaman. Dun sa mga raids na ginawa, ilan ang mga kababaihan na involved. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, for the PNP, based on our record, since January 2016 to July 31, 2024, we have recorded a total of 152 cases. These are all POGO-related incidents, Your Honor. Now,
Mr. Chair,
with
this 150 cases,
152 cases, Your Honor.
152 cases, Mr. Chair, ito ba ay raids lahat or different different cases?
Raids or not? Raids daw.
Raids, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr.
Now
Chair,
to the offenses, Your Honor. We have the following. For kidnap for ransom, we have 43. Kidnapping and serious illegal in persons, we have 18. Kidnapping and serious illegal detention, we have 18. The Access Devices Regulation Act of 1998, we have 14. Robbery cases, we have 6. Illegal detention, 5. Slight illegal detention, we have 5. Violation of our Republic Act 9165, we have 3. Violation on investment scam, we have 3. Qualified theft, we have 3. Swindling, estafa, and theft cases. We have consummated slight physical injuries and maltreatment. We have grave coercions. Now, these are incidental cases, Your Honor. Frustrated homicide, frustrated life coercions. We have consummated unjust fixations, grave coercions, Your Honor. That's so far, Your Honor. Those are the cases, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, sa list po ninyo, alin ang pinaka-frequent? Ano yung pinaka-madalas? No? Yung 43, ano yon? Anong case yon?
Kidnapping for ransom and the Anti-Human Trafficking in Persons, Your Honor.
Anti-Human Trafficking in Persons Act. So, mostly po, may mga kababaihan dyan. So, ilan po yung total ng mga biktima ng sex trafficking batay sa raid ninyo sa 152 cases lang, Mr. Chair?
I don't have the further breakdown, Your Honor, but we will check and we will submit this list, Your Honor. Thank you.
Is it 100, 1,000? Gaano po karami?
Tulad po na nabanggit po namin, wala po kaming breakdown ng cases when we talk about sexual violence. But we will just check, Your Honor, and we will submit you the data.
So, Mr. Chair, kailangan natin nung breakdown nito kasi yung gravity, no, ng ginagawa, lalong-lalo na kung human trafficking ang mga cases nito, sex trafficking ang mga cases nito, kailangan malaman po natin yon. Kasi yun yung sinasabi natin na ang tindi talaga ng social cost sa atin nitong POGO. No? Now, I would like to ask, meron bang mga kinasuhan na particular sa sex trafficking at ano na ang mga status nito, Mr. Chair?
As I have mentioned, Your Honor, we do not have the specific status of cases, but if you would allow us to submit this later on, we will just check with the Directorate for Investigation, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, as simple as bilang ang tinatanong natin. Ngayon, hindi pa po ako nagtatanong, Mr. Chair, kung ano na ang ginagawa after ng POGO raids. Kasi definitely, kailangan po niyan ng processing sa trauma, lalo na ng mga kababaihan. Now, what is the authorities doing right now para doon sa mga, lalo na dito sa 152 cases na sinasabi ninyo, may psychological relief pa sila? Anong mga legal measures ang ginagawa ngayon para sila ay matulungan, lalong-lalo na yung mga kababaihan na may mga cases ng ganito. Kasi alam niyo naman po yun, hindi biro ang mga cases ng rape, sex trafficking, human trafficking, torture, etc. Ano na po ang measures na ginagawa ngayon kaugnay dyan? Hindi po pwedeng magsabi lang tayo na no, i-ban natin, kundi kailangan i-secure din natin yung safety at saka yung pangangailangan ng mga victims na ito, Mr. Chair. Ano po yung program ngayon na ginagawa, specific ng government, para doon sa mga biktima, lalong-lalo na ng sex trafficking, human trafficking, etc. No? Masasabi niyo po ba sa akin kung ilan ang may kaso ngayon on sex trafficking dyan?
Your Honors, we can only speak for the law enforcement, but as to the programs that you were mentioning, normally when we talk about raids, it is a joint or composite operations, and normally we have the Women's and Children Protection Center that are included in the units, and they believe they have all the necessary measures with respect to coordination to the appropriate agencies, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr.
Please
Chair,
wrap up.
pasubmit na lang yan.
Last question.
Yes, Mr. Chair, pasubmit po tayo dahil sa law enforcement, sila naman yon. Pero Mr. Chair, sana masagot ako, ano yung mga programa ngayon na ginagawa para doon sa mga ni-raid na POGO, tapos may mga kababaihan na involved, ano na ang programa ng gobyerno dito, Mr. Chair? That's the last of my question, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Ano na ang programs na ginagawa para dito?
Well, to whom the question was addressed, Congresswoman Broses?
Mr. Chair, nandito naman ang NBI, PNP, PAGCOR. Siguro, masasagot nila tayo. Sino pa ba ang involved dito?
Well, I believe that there was a task force created for this purpose to address the concerns related to the criminalities inside a POGO hub. And I believe the Philippine National Police and the members of task force will be asked by the committee later on to submit their plans of action with respect to addressing the criminalities related to POGO, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kasi yung post-trauma, importante nating na-address yan eh. At the same time, nagkakaroon ng tuloy-tuloy or continuing yung mga POGO raids, dito madami yung mga victims mo. Kailangan meron ka talagang program para doon. At kung law enforcement lang ang gagawin, it will not be enough, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman Brosas. Before we proceed, let me acknowledge members who have attended this committee hearing: Honorable Dean Asistio, Honorable Howard Ginto, Honorable Janet Garin, Honorable Ernesto Junicio, Honorable Jude Asidre. Welcome to the committee. And Honorable Joboy Aquino. The next to interpolate is